Today's project, I'm working on troubleshooting a slow anchor motor called a windlass. And so I had to come in and start checking electrical and mechanical things. So on the electrical side, I came here to the house batteries and I had to use my voltmeter and go down here and make sure all three of my house batteries had good voltage. And then when I run the anchor motor, I check the voltage drop, and it was only about 1 volt. So it seems like the power getting up from the house batteries up to the anchor motor is good. So then I had to come up here into the front of the boat in the locker, and this is where the anchor system is. So I had to use my winch handle here, and I unscrewed the top of this cover and I took it off. And underneath this is a gypsy, it's called, and it is connected underneath, I'll show you in a minute, to a motor and a drum that turns the gypsy for bringing the anchor up and down. So then I came in here and I had to take off these 2 screws for this cover, like this, and then I pulled back. This is called a chain stripper for some reason, but I come in here and I'm able to take the chain and lay it on the outside of the gypsy, so when I run the motor, the gypsy will turn without the anchor going up and down. So I had to come in here and check the voltage from the battery system coming into the anchor, and then over here underneath is the actual anchor motor and again up underneath there is the drum that spins the gypsy. So I had to take off all these connections right in here, clean them, and make sure that I was getting good voltage into the actual motor, and I was. So it's been running kind of slow. It happened right before we went back to the States, so this was the first chance I had to come back in here. So what I ultimately ended up doing, without having to take the whole motor apart, it's a little over five years old, so I went ahead and just bought a new motor and drum assembly, and so I'll end up having to take these bolts off back here and then replace this whole thing up underneath, and then reconnect it back to the gypsy, and then hopefully the new motor will take care of our problems. If not, I may look at having to replace the gypsy system, which is right here, which hopefully will be fairly straightforward. It just really this part sits on top of the deck, and the motor assembly underneath fits underneath the deck with those bolts. So this just kind of comes up once you take those bolts off. So that's what my project's been for today.